Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to update this 1970s bathroom countertop with some appliance epoxy. All right, step one is to clean the surface off really well. All right, step two, after we clean it, we're going to sand it. I got a sanding sponge, but you need sandpaper. I'm using a 120 grit. And I'm just gonna go all over the surface. This helps to kind of dull the surface, and it also helps with the paint adhesion to the surface. All right, step three, we're gonna use a microfiber cloth to get all the dust off. This is a really important phase because you do not want to have any dirt, dust, anything left on your countertop before you paint. So now it's time to paint the countertop, and you basically have two choices. We're gonna go with the roll-on epoxy paint, but it also comes in a spray can, which is where I actually got the idea to do this, is from my friend Allie at Proverbs 31 Girl on Instagram. She used the spray. The thing with the spray is it's a lot stronger odor, smell, and you definitely want to have a vented area. And there's a lot more overspray, so you have to do a lot more prep work because the aerosol kind of gets on everything in the bathroom, so you want to make sure you have everything covered. So we decided to go with the roll-on paint, and I am going to now tape off all the edges with some painter's tape and a little bit on the edge of the countertop in case I get any drip. Another tip that Allie gave us was if you are going to keep your faucet and use the same faucet, I thought it was absolutely brilliant, but she gave us the idea to cover the faucet in this cling press and seal wrap, so it just covers it up perfectly, and you're able to kind of mold it to the faucet and it sticks really good. So you cover up the whole faucet all the way around the edges. You can even use this to cover this. However, we're getting a new faucet, so if you're keeping your faucet, don't forget this step, but if you're like us and you're gonna do a different faucet, you don't have to worry about this step. Okay, now we're just to the fun part of painting the countertop, and these are the tools we're gonna use. I've got a foam roller, and I've also got an angled paintbrush. So I'm gonna use the angled paintbrush for all of the edges and the little parts that are hard to get to, and then I'll go over it with a foam roller. That's why I have a paint tray. So with this epoxy paint, you want to apply your second, third coats, however many coats you do, within an hour. If you wait over an hour, then you're gonna need to wait a full 24 hours before you do another coat. So my plan is to do one coat, I'm gonna wait about 30 minutes, apply a second coat, and then I'll go from there to decide if I need more coats than that. This is exciting. It has been 24 hours since we put 2 coats of this paint on, and I want to explain to you something I'm going to do a little bit different, okay? This is a foam roller. It has 0 nap, like, you know, there's all different types of naps. This naps on a roller. This is for a very smooth surface. However, when I did it on this counter, it does give a little bit of a bumpy texture. All right, I'm going to show you here on Tracy Cam. Do you see that bumpy texture? There you go, see it? You can see it in the light, but where I used my brush, this little thing, which is around the sink, it gave a smoother texture. So it's a little bit smoother, and I like the look of the brush better. So here's the thing. I wanted to see if I could get rid of this bumpy surface, and I was able to. Let me tell you how I was able to do it. Here's what I've decided to do. I'm gonna take this 120 grit sanding sponge, and I was able to push really good and hard and I was able to smooth out this surface. Okay guys, so this is the spray epoxy I'm going to use. I sanded this really good. I'm wiping all the dust off, which is super important, again, with this microfiber cloth. And I'm going to do at least 2 coats of this. You need to do it within the half hour. So I'll do a coat, wait maybe 15 minutes, do a second coat. The one thing I want to tell you guys is this has a very strong odor, so I'm going to wear a mask, and it has a lot of overspray. So if you are doing this in a place where you need to protect your floors and everything, your walls, everything should be covered. However, because we're kind of redoing everything, we're getting a new light, we're painting the walls, we're putting new flooring, I don't care if it gets an overspray on it. But if you're doing it and you want to keep that part of your bathroom clean, you have got to cover it because this has crazy overspray. All right, let's get started. I finished applying the spray epoxy last night, and now this is supposed to sit for 24 hours. So just a few more hours and it'll be done. I want to tell you a couple things about the spray epoxy. I know that I told y'all you needed everything covered. I cannot stress that enough. I had a little cloth over my nose. I would try to get a little bit better of a mask, even because the fumes are extremely strong. Even with a vented window, the fumes were extremely strong. We actually had the bathroom door closed, and some of the overspray actually was able to go underneath the doorway out onto the floor in our hallway. So the overspray is crazy and the fumes are crazy. So you just need to know that before you do it. Another tip that I wanted to let you know is that you're supposed to shake your can throughout the process while you spray paint. I did get a few drips, and as I was spray painting, I would see a drip on the countertop and I would have to take my paintbrush and kind of go over it. So I know that you can sometimes purchase one of those nozzles that go over it. That might help, I don't know, but I just want you to be aware. Once I figured that out, I kind of kept a cloth with me, and every so often I just kind of wiped off the nozzle as I went. But other than that, I'm really happy with the results. The spray epoxy does give a little bit of a duller finish than the roll-on. But for the money, this is a great way to do a little makeover on your countertop. If you guys have any questions about this process whatsoever, leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. So I hope you enjoyed this how-to video, and follow along because I'll be posting more as we continue this bathroom renovation.